Today, we have a very special guest kicking off our season, none other than Steph Taylor, the celebrity spray tan artist extraordinaire. With over 12 years of experience in the sunless industry, Steph brings a wealth of knowledge and passion to the table. Steph has been a driving force in making the sunless industry more diverse, inclusive, and educational focused. Her dedication to skin safety and all demographics is truly inspiring. I can't wait for you to hear her highlights. Let's dive in the world of spray tanning. This is Nicole, your host of Beauty Behind the Brand. Well, I'm excited to have you on, Steph.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm just excited. Like you're just saying about podcasting, it's so funny how like sometimes you're interviewed or you're the guest and vice versa. So it's remembering who's saying what today. So as I mentioned, you're going to be our first guest on for season 3. So excited to have you.
Yay. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Well, let's dive right into your story. Let's not waste any time at all and dive right in because I'm so excited. I was just reading a few things online and also like you were one of our question boxes actually requested to have you on our podcast from social media as well.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
so you were a request as well as actually I believe one of the other girls who works on our podcast team mentioned you as well. So you were a hype.
Wow.
Yeah, you're a hype girl somewhere or someone recommended. So I'm so excited to meet you and have you on.
It's so funny when like I hear that people want me to be interviewed because to me I'm just like, who, me? And then when I talk about my story, I'm like, holy shit, like I've actually come such a long way. But for those of you who don't know me, I'm Steph Taylor. I'm a celebrity spray tan artist based out of Southern California. I also host my own podcast, the Glow the Fuck Up podcast on Spotify. It is the sunless industry's #1 podcast. We talk about everything that's trending in the sunless world: sun, skin safety, beauty, pop culture. I mean, you name it. It's one of the only resources that our industry has. So, being the founder of that has been just like an incredible journey. I also own a solution company, Alt Sun, and it is an alternative sun solution. It is the industry's first sunless solution specifically formulated for skin types 4 through 6. So, if you're not familiar with the Fitzpatrick scale, it's going to be skin types that are richer in melanin, brown, black, BIPOC community. They're finally getting something to cater to them. So it's been an incredible journey, and I'm excited to be here and share, all I can with you guys.
Amazing. Well, that's so interesting about the Fitzpatrick scale because I feel like with our podcast, it's a lot of beauty influence, whether it's like a brick and mortar location, product lines, beauty influence in the sense of podcasting,
Yeah.
e-commerce, anything really beauty related. And we haven't had anyone on talking about spray tanning. Like myself, I've been obsessed with spray tanning since like high school. I feel like I was the
Oh, yeah.
only one that was like experimenting with like within product lines and
Yes.
some of them not so good, others better. I feel like it's
Yeah.
definitely come a long way since even 10, 15 plus years ago.
Yes. Oh my God. The industry has come such a long way. I think we have this like stigma, right? We're like the stepchild of the beauty industry. People don't like to necessarily disclose that they get frequent spray tans, or, they'll never really talk about spray tanning. You'll tag your lash artist, you tag the person who does your hair, but it's so rare that you like tag your spray tan artist. So, hopefully we're doing our best to kind of break that stigma and kind of bring more awareness to the industry, because it's so much more than just a beauty service. It's really a way to change the trajectory of skin cancer diagnosis. It's so much more than just a beauty service. It's a way to spread awareness and education and really make sure that people are, getting their annual dermatological exams and skin checks and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. And also like we take such good care of our skin. Why go bake it in the sun, right? I know like even when I go on vacation, I'm like, I have to have my spray tan because it's like confidence in a bottle. And there's like
Yes.
no other way to explain like the feeling a spray tan can give you.
Oh my God, I know. It's insane. Also, like being a woman of color, the first time I got a spray tan, I was so like not in the know, right? I
Yes.
had no idea. I was like, me get a spray tan? That doesn't make sense. And then I got the spray tan and I was like, holy shit, like this is a game changer. So now I'm trying to like spread the wealth to all women of color. Like, no, we need to get on this spray tan game, you guys. You have no idea.
Amazing. So let's talk about your formulation and how you kind of came to that, like you were saying, of being a woman of color yourself, realizing like there needs to be a market for those Fitzpatrick skills that aren't being catered to currently. And I feel like no matter your skin, yes, we might have more melanin, so we're more resilient to the sun, but there is still damage that can be done to any skin type. And I feel like that's something that is starting, more and more people are realizing that, not doing the UV beds as much and now getting more into spray tanning. What was kind of that aha moment for you? Was it when you went for your first spray tan, you're like, I need to create something to better this
Yeah.
whole industry, really?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been in the industry for about 14 years. I'm gonna age myself here, but
It's the spray
there
tan, you're looking good.
yes, right? Okay, period. So I've been in the industry for about 14 years. When I first got started, there was maybe like two solution brands, and you would have to kind of use that for everyone. And we've come such a long way since the beginning. There's really not a solution that is a one size fits all. When it comes to me starting Alt Sun and realizing that we have this market that we need to cater to as, you know, people of color, it was really when I took a deep dive and learned about skin cancer and how it honestly disproportionately kills a higher percentage of black and brown folks versus, you know, our lighter skin counterparts. There's such a lack of education in our communities as a whole when it comes to skin safety and overall just knowing how to protect ourselves and staying out of the sun. And I think there's so much catching up that the medical industry has to do as well. We're taught, even in, you know, SD school, that, you know, our fair counterparts need to go get checked every year, but there really is no mention of higher Fitzpatrick scale skin types that we need to go in every year to kind of get these checks. Um, so honestly, just learning about how we die at a higher rate than our fair skin counterparts, it was really that aha moment that was like, no, I need to figure out a way where I can educate the masses and really like bring this knowledge and bring this skin safety awareness to my community so that we can do better. It's such a preventable um, disease. You know, when it's caught early on, there's almost a 99% chance of going into remission and treating and being okay. However, we usually catch these later in life because we're not necessarily educated on the skin safety, and it's time we change that. So that's what really started Alt Sun.
I love that. The why, right? I feel like there's always a business. When you create a business, whether it's product or service or anything, there's always kind of that problem solving and creating better for the world, and solving that for someone, whether it's like a personal experience or to prevent that from happening to someone else.
Yeah, absolutely. When I was in college, my father actually was diagnosed with skin cancer. He had a melanoma cut out of his face, and that was like earth shattering. I did not even know we could get skin cancer at that point. Like, as crazy
Mhm.
as this sounds, it almost sounded like, you know, it was a fair skin problem. It was never, you know, something that people with richer melanin ever had to deal with. But that was like, holy shit, like this can happen to us too. And from then on, I just, you know, took a deep dive into the industry and did as much studying as I could to, you know, figure out a way to really bring education and, you know, skin safety to our community.
Yeah, and that's what I'm noticing with more clients, and the public are getting more savvy too. They're starting to do a lot of their own research and seeing the pros and cons, even solutions, like seeing what makes more sense for even allergens they might have or fragrances, things like that too, and what's safe on their skin. Now, when creating a formula like that, like we're here in Canada, but for you in the States, what was that experience like for you creating an actual formula to be able to go out to the market?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of work. A lot of testing, a lot of trial and error. As a woman of color, and my husband is also black. He was like my test subject. We tested solutions on all different types of skin tones, but he was like my go-to. He was also the one that was like, "Nope, I don't like the way that feels. Nope, I don't like the way that smells." So lots of testing. He is such a big reason behind my success.
Are you looking to fuel your body with the best nutrition? Look no further than Good Protein. Whether you're a fitness enthusiast, a busy professional, or just someone who values their health, Good Protein has your back. Good Protein offers a wide range of high quality protein products that taste amazing and make you feel even better. But there's an exciting part. When you shop Good Protein, you're not just getting high quality protein, you're getting it at a price that you won't break the bank. Use promo code behind the brand at checkout and you'll get exclusive 20% off your order. That's right, 20% off. Browse our fantastic selection and make sure to enter behind the brand to unlock an extreme discount. So why settle for less when you can get the best? Give your body the nutrition it deserves with Good Protein. Head over to the website goodprotein.ca and remember to enter that promo code of behind the brand for 20% off your next order.
Such a big reason behind my success. He's
That's
so
amazing.
supportive. He's truly amazing. He's helped me from the very beginning. And
I feel like they're
formulating this.
honest. I feel like they're like that honest where you're like, you're gonna get the feedback that
Oh,
you
yeah,
need without them like, like they're just straight to
absolutely.
the point, which we all need that, I think too.
Of course. He's my biggest supporter and my biggest critic. Like, if
Yeah,
I
I
know
love that.
something's not right, he'll tell me, and I can count on him for sure. When it comes to the formulation process, you usually will find a chemist or you'll find like a manufacturer, distributor, and you work hand in hand with them the entire process. So I would say from start to finish, the entire process took me about a year and a half to really nail it and get it right. When I brought my idea to the chemist, I mentioned I want something that can be specifically used to enhance skin types 4 through 6 on the Fitzpatrick scale. I want it to be sweat resistant.
Oh,
That was
smart.
probably my biggest must have when it came to the solution that I wanted to formulate. I wanted it to be sweat resistant. Um, for me in particular, I was postpartum. I was literally maybe like a month postpartum when I started the process. Um, and I was like not really feeling myself, not feeling very good. I would get a spray tan and my hormones were all over the place. I was sweating the spray tan off in like 3 days. So I was like, let me add that to my list of things that the solution has to have. So, sweat resistant, it has to enhance that natural melanin and look absolutely gorgeous. I want it to last as long as possible. So, Altsun's formulation is it helps the solution last about 30% longer than like your regular
Oh,
market
wow.
solution because of the formulation. Yeah. So that was something that was super important to me. And my chemist was incredible. They were like, no, we can't do that. Yes, we can do this. So they're really your best friends. You got to get in good with your chemist and your manufacturer for sure.
Yeah, that's we have a beauty product line as well, and we're like lashes and brow space. And same thing, we just got paired up with like the most amazing doctors that are helping us with our lash and brow products. And same thing, they really become part of that entrepreneur family because they are part of the team. Yes, they may not be on your payroll, but like you're building this business with them. And that's what I always love is when we were working with, there was people that I just didn't jive with. I'm sure you felt the same where you were like kind of
Yeah.
interviewing these people and you're like, I just don't jive with them, or oh wow, I really love that person's energy and I can see us moving forward, because it is a business investment. You're investing a lot of money into these, especially the quantities, and you're hoping it's like the longevity of this business is going to continue. So you're really wanting to grow with that team moving
Yes.
forward with manufacturing for sure,
Yeah.
or like a chemist like you're saying too.
Absolutely. It's so important to make sure that you get like a good vibe with your team because you're going to reach out to them for any sort of questions you have, any issues arise. You need to be able to be very direct and um, have that good communication with them. Again, if anything happens, you need to have that point of contact that you feel comfortable ultimately like going to ask for help, to ask to help resolve any issues or anything that may arise. So they really are a part of your business and your family.
Yeah, absolutely. And then trying to like almost like so you end up creating this perfect product, like absolutely amazing. And then were you starting to do celebrity spray tanning before the product launch? Like before having your own, or
Yes.
was that kind of after when you had launched the product itself?
Oh my God, no. So, I have been a celebrity spray tan artist for the last 14 years. I fell into this, you guys. Like, there is no tips, tricks, like formula I can give you to tell you how to do this. This was an accidental career for me. I thought I was going to be an actress. I also went to veterinary school. I thought I was going to be a vet. I started spray tanning literally just to make ends meet. It was something that I could do without a license. It was something that I could do. I could learn fairly quickly. And I would say I got my first celebrity client a month in when I
Wow.
had first started. Yeah. I don't know if you guys, it's been a while, but Twilight, Ashley Green,
Yes, yeah.
she was actually my first celebrity client. And from then on, it kind of just like took off, honestly. So I was fortunate enough to literally fall into it. And I think just using my experience and my reputation and all of the knowledge that I've gained within the last 14 years in the industry, that really set me up to ultimately create this product that I feel so confidently about and I feel so passionately about. Also, having clients that are women of color as well, I've learned what works for their skin, what does not work for their skin, what bronzers look best, using color theory, and ultimately just like what ingredients are going to work best. So that's helped a ton too. But yeah,
That's
I actually started celebrity spray tanning before anything else.
Oh wow, I love that story because I feel like I feel like beauty is very much like that. A lot of beauty entrepreneurs I talk to say that it just kind of happened, or like they had a friend and they did their makeup and then more people wanted them to do their
Yeah,
makeup. But that's what I even say sometimes because a very similar story in the sense like I had a brick and mortar location which we still do a spa, and then
yeah,
we realized the kind of the problem is we didn't have the products we needed to like actually do these services properly, and learning as a technician all the pros and cons of different things. And I was like, let's make our own. So very similar to you, it's like
yeah,
so exciting when you are actually the technician doing the service and then you're like solving a problem for other people to experience and like actually be able to use, and clients are able
yes.
to see those results that they need as well. What was kind of like that aha moment for you when you were like, I think I found my niche, like I found the thing that I've been like my calling really, when you think about it?
Yeah. My aha moment, honestly, I think didn't happen until about 2020 when we were like deep in the thick of lockdown during the pandemic. And I was still spraying, but it wasn't necessarily something that I was like, this is my career. I think when everything got shut down, everyone was laid off, everyone was losing their jobs. I took it as a sign to really like put myself and my passions forward. When you get like so close to like really realizing your own mortality too, you're like, I live one life. Why not do what the fuck I love? Why
Yeah,
am I wasting my time? Let me throw everything I have into this thing that I love and really see where it can take me. And if I fail, I fail. It is
yeah.
what it is. We
Mhm.
we can't learn anything in life unless we do fail. And I failed so much, you guys. I'm not even gonna lie. There has been multiple failures, but every time I fail in my business, I learn how to pivot and I learn how to make, lemonade out of lemons essentially. So that was really my moment where I was like, this is my thing. I feel it.
Mhm.
And it
Mhm.
completely took off after that.
I think it's like it's so crazy. Like what you're saying too is like that moment kind of is when you almost stop and you reflect. Like I feel like that seems very similar thing. Like when COVID had happened to us, everyone was pivoting, and I kind of made it. It kind of made you step back and actually kind of reevaluate everything, and
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and like you're saying, really figure out what kind of lights you up and what really you're almost grateful for at the end of the day.
Yeah,
And you only have one life. I always say if you're like 80, 90 years old sitting in a nursing home, like would you regret not taking that chance on yourself? Like,
always.
right? We only
Yes.
have one life, like you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. That's such like an important thing to remember is like, yes, it may be scary. Yes, you may fear failing, but like if you're 80 something years old down the line, are you really going to regret not taking those chances on yourself? You work
Mhm.
your ass off, your whole life for other people to get rich off of your labor. Why not put that same effort into building something for yourself?
Yeah, and I think that true mindset too. That's the part I feel like is entrepreneurship, and that's what kind of started this whole podcast was actually during COVID. I was having meaningful conversations with other beauty entrepreneurs because we kind of needed to count on each other with what
Yeah,
was going on in the
absolutely.
world, and we were supporting each other. And I'm like, more people need to hear these conversations because I'm sitting here, my spa's been closed, especially in Canada. We were closed
Yeah.
for a very long time in Ontario too. And I was like, oh my gosh, other people need to hear this because even that mindset of like keeping yourself motivated and accountable, it just keeps that flow and that momentum going.
Yeah, absolutely. And so many entrepreneurs and business owners were like pivoting during that time. And it was such like a learning curve for everyone. And it was a horrible, scary time, but also so many beautiful things came out of it because I feel like people really took the time to focus on their passions. They took the time to figure out what works for them and what was going to be essentially the biggest success out of everything that they tried to like throw at the wall and got to see what stuck. Um, but yeah, that was really my moment where I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this.
I figured it out. That's amazing. And then from there, so how long has your product line itself been on the market? Like what kind of was like the launch? So you said it took about a year and a half to get that formulation down. And then what was your way, kind of your tactic of getting it out to the market and getting it out to consumers?
Yeah, absolutely. So we officially launched January 1st. So we're going on the second month of business and we've sold out about three times already. It's completely taken off. I could not have even anticipated that it would do as well as it did. I'm like truly humbled and honored and it makes me emotional because like as a woman of color seeing the people in the industry really like gravitate towards the solution and do whatever they can to really bring diversity and inclusion into their businesses, it means so much to me because I know that I'm not doing this by myself. I have all of
Yes.
these other business owners that are like helping make that change with me and I could not be more honored and more humbled to have the support of everyone in my community.
And I exactly that. I feel like you are such a humble person. I feel like that even through your story where it's like
Thank you.
I feel like that's such a great thing to have as a business owner too. I think no matter where you are, the age or stage you're at in your business or life, I think that's something that as entrepreneurs it's really important to have that because even with your team with people purchasing from you even in education like it's so great for people to be able to really almost find it relatable. I think when
Yeah,
you are a very humble personality like you are, it's great for people to kind of feel more comfortable. Like even you have a very peaceful mentality about yourself. And I feel like it's
thank
really
you.
easy for people to feel like to want to support you and help
Yeah,
your business grow and you're approachable for them to ask questions and feel heard within your business.
absolutely. Yeah, I always want people to know that about me at the very least. Like, I never feel that I'm above anyone, even though I've been in the industry for a long time. I've sprayed whoever, you name it, I don't feel like I'm ever like above anybody. I feel like these are my peers. These are people that are on the same level as me no matter how long you've been doing it because we're really in this together. It's not a competition. There's always room for collaboration. That's how you really succeed.
Mhm, and you're making the spray tan world better. Like that's something that I think when it comes to beauty entrepreneurship, we're in that almost new era of like the
Yes.
younger generation coming in, like you're saying that like instead of being competitive, we're being collaborative. And I'm gonna help create something to make your business better so we can grow and make this a better industry for everybody, no matter your color or background. You're able to get a spray tan and enjoy that confidence and being safe with your skin as well moving forward in your life.
Absolutely, of course. I remember when I first started out in the sunless industry, it was not a very diverse and inclusive space, and there was a lot of work that needed to be done, and I'm so relieved to see where it's going and the strides we're making because I have a daughter and I never want her to feel how I felt. I want her to be able to walk into any place and get a beauty service and have the technician or the artist or whoever know how to work with her hair type, know how to work with her skin tone. I don't want it to ever be, a place where she doesn't feel comfortable or confident walking in anywhere to get a beauty
Yes.
service. We got to do better. You can't call yourself an expert if you don't know how to do every single type of whether it is hair texture, skin type, color theory, anything of that sort. We have to be able to cater to everyone.
100%. And that's where I find, like, for us here in Canada, as well as, like, I'm from a small town. So that is something that we always love to learn more about, as well as like how, yeah, we might not have that many clients who have like different melanin or different skin background than us, but it's like always something that we learn and educate. And having that, even for me, like when I would do wedding makeup, actually
Yeah.
understanding like, okay, maybe I have to make sure I have these specific things in my kit to be able to cater to anyone and everyone, because I don't want to show up somewhere and make someone feel that way just because I'm not of color, right? And even
Absolutely.
for myself, I was like, I would never want to put someone in that position. So taking our time to educate and learn, and exactly what you've done, as well as making that possible for someone who may not understand or know the chemical makeup of what that melanin might be within
Mhm.
that formula to create that perfect glow for somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that could really be a testament to any industry,
Yeah.
honestly, is if
Mhm.
you don't feel comfortable, get comfortable.
Hey there, beauty entrepreneurs and self care enthusiasts. Are you looking to enhance your beauty business with a top tier lash serum, or simply seeking to elevate your own beauty routine? Look no further than Muskoka Beauty Lash and Brow Enhancing Serum. Proudly made in Canada, our serum offers the perfect blend of nourishing ingredients to naturally enhance your lashes and define those gorgeous brows. Whether you're aiming to retail a sought after product or enhancing your personal beauty, Muskoka Beauty has you covered. And here's an exclusive offer just for our podcast listeners. Enjoy a fantastic 15% off discount on your order. Simply use the promo code podcast15 when visiting muskoka.com to claim your savings. Again, that's promo code podcast15 for 15% off our lash and brow serum. By the way, it is our best sellers, so can't wait to see your before and afters. Yes.
Continuing education, you are never above it. I'm constantly learning to this very day. And I feel like everyone should be. We're always evolving, we're always growing. Learn as much as you can so that you can really, treat or service as many people as possible as well.
Now, do you do training as well? Speaking of training?
I do. So I do one-on-one training. I also do mentorship programs. I have my podcast where it's a free resource to the spray tan community in the sunless industry, where we really talk about business tips, sunless tips, a plethora of things on the podcast as well. So that's definitely a resource that if you're ever interested in breaking into the sunless industry, you can start at least and get a vibe.
Yeah, no, that's such a great resource, because I feel like that's something that people, I even say that kind of with our podcast as well, because we have so many different beauty entrepreneurs on, but with someone, yeah, who's listening, who's interested in getting into that sunless tan, that is a great resource, because they might be like, oh, this is for me, or oh, this isn't for me. It's not what I
Yeah.
expected. What is one of your like most like popular talking points when someone is looking to get into the sunless world? What's something that you would recommend, or something for them to kind of think about when doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think probably the coolest thing about the sunless industry is it's one of the most affordable things to start with in the beauty industry. You don't need any specific licensing, at least not here in the States. I believe there's one state that you do need a license, but all other states you aren't required to be licensed. So that's a plus. Also, the overhead is not super expensive to get started. You're looking at an investment of about anywhere from 600 to about 2000 to get started, and you're going to start turning over profit pretty quick to recoup your initial investment. So that's one of the biggest things that people ask me, like, is it super expensive to get started? And I always try to guide them in the right direction when it comes to their business goals, depending on if you want to, break into a brick and mortar, if you want to start off doing mobiles only, that's a really, cost
True.
efficient
Yeah.
way to do that as well. Um, so yeah, I usually get that question about finances and, is it expensive to start? What's the best way to go about it? My biggest tip would be honestly maybe start the mobile route. Make sure that you love it. Make sure that it's something that you want to continue. And then once you build up that clientele, then you can move into that brick and mortar space and, just continue to scale from there.
Yeah, and do you find like a lot of people niche into specific like whether they like do many people do hybrid where they're doing mobile and a brick and mortar or
Yes. Yeah. So there are many artists that do a hybrid situation, and that's honestly the ideal situation. From there, you can hire staff that can always service your clients in your brick and mortar location. And you can hire staff to also do your mobiles, or if you want to do your mobiles, vice versa. But it's kind of cool to have the market in your area dominated in that sense. You can have people come to your salon. You can also offer that mobile service as well if they would prefer to never leave their home, which most clients don't want to leave their
especially
home.
spray tanning too.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do it in the comfort of your own home. So that's also like a really cool thing to offer your clients. We also have spray tan artists that will like niche into specific events as well. We have a ton of bridal specialists. It's such a huge industry for like spray tanning. We have homecomings, dances, high school sports. We have celebrity tanning, we have event tanning, vacation tanning, you name it. There's like a niche for it. And it's kind of cool to see all of these artists find what their strengths are and really market towards that audience. And they're having insane success. It's wild to see the growth in the industry. It's been so cool.
And I think it's just growing. Like I feel like even for us, like like an esthetician by background, nail tech, lash tech, and I feel like even when I took my first initial lash course, that was like 10 plus years ago, and I
Yeah.
laughed because I'm like looking now, just in 10 years, how much lash extensions. I'm feeling the
Yeah.
same way with spray tanning, right? You're
Yeah.
now seeing so much more technology, like your formula, like you're saying. It's just kind of that perfect time to get into it as well.
Yes. It still feels like a baby industry, honestly. It's been around for so long, but seeing the growth and seeing the trajectory of the sinless industry, like now's the time to get into it. If you considered adding it on as a service, it's the perfect time. We're experiencing a boom of growth right now. And again, it's not crazy expensive to start. So
Yeah.
now's the
Yeah.
time.
And like you were saying too, it's a great like even side hustle. Like
Yeah.
if you do have like a 9 to 5, but you're wanting to make some extra money, or you're kind of want to dip your toe into the whole beauty world, that's kind of a great spot to start. I think too with spray tanning, especially like being an esthetician and all the things, I think it's really great to make people feel good in their own skin. I feel like estheticians were just trained different, right? We're like fine to see someone and making people feel comfortable, whether that's body waxing, spray tanning, all the things. But I think
Yes.
if you can really frame your mind about making someone feel comfortable and giving them that confidence, who wouldn't want someone to feel good? It's like you're not going to the dentist or something that's like scary and going to hurt you. You're going to like experience something that's going to make you feel amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even with what you just said, the spray tan industry has experienced so much growth from just that mindset. There was a time where it was very like, oh, if you can't tone it, tan yourself skinny. And fuck that. Excuse my French.
No,
Now we're like,
exactly.
no, you are absolutely perfect the way you are at your very surface level. We're not here to sell you a service to make you feel like shit about yourself. We're here to give you a service that's going to enhance your natural beauty because you are perfect at your very surface level. We're not trying to change anything. We're not trying to like give you a miracle like
Yes.
I'm skinny all of a sudden. Like, no, that's not our thing. Now we're so body positive. We are moving in that direction. And I'm so here for that change. It was so necessary. It's about damn time.
Yeah, and you're touching all things, whether that's like confidence within your like body structure, that part of it, as well as color. too,
Yeah.
like bringing those two aspects that I feel like we've been struggling with, women and men, for how
Yes.
long. You're really putting them together, those two concerns that women I feel like are most concerned about, to be
Yeah.
honest. Even for me as like a Caucasian white person, I'm like,
Yeah.
I want some color. Like
Yeah.
exactly. Like when I go on vacation, I don't want to be walking around the same color as the sand on the beach. Like I
Of
want to be able
course.
to have a tan. So
Yeah.
it's nice to be able to get that body confidence as well as getting yourself that tan, no matter your Fitzpatrick skill, you were saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone can benefit from a spray tan, whether you just want to get like a nice healthy glow or you want to, develop a rich, nice bronze tone. Your spray tan artist is going to be able to do that for you. It's really for everybody, honestly.
Perfect. Now, with my last question of today, I feel like this conversation's just flown by, to be honest.
It has, right? You and I are like,
Yeah, I don't know. It must be the like podcast because, like I said, it does make a difference when you're interviewing someone who has a podcast and is
yes,
comfortable chatting as well.
yeah.
So, what is one piece of advice that you could tell like your younger self, whether you were in the industry yet or you were just getting into it? What's something that our listeners might also want to hear, or something that you wish your younger self also knew?
Yeah. Um, my younger self. I'm gonna tell my younger self, you don't have to try to fit in. You stand out for a reason and follow that. I think being in the sunless industry that long ago, I so badly wanted to fit into an industry that was not catering towards women like me. And I struggled. It wasn't until I completely dropped that ego and it wasn't until I was like, no, I'm not a skinny Caucasian white woman. I am this spicy thick brown lady and I need to just dive into that and really being authentic and following my truth and following my why. That has been what's brought me the most success. So don't try to fit in. If you stand out, girl.
I
That's
love that. I
it.
love that so much. It is where I feel like too many people all look the same. They're all acting the same. They're branding, everything's the same. It's like
Yes.
breaking out of that stigma and creating something that people are going to remember you. They're going to remember
Yeah,
you because you're being you, right? And no one else can be
absolutely.
you at the end of the day.
Of course. Completely agree, girl.
Amazing. So where can everyone find you? Because like this conversation as well as obviously the podcast will tag everything in the show notes below.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on Instagram at Love Steph Taylor. That's my personal Instagram. The solution brand is at Hey Alt Sun. And the podcast is the Glow the Fuck Up podcast Instagram. And I will go ahead and recap everything that you share on my personal pages so that my followers can, find your podcast.
Perfect. Awesome. I love that. The collaboration like we were talking
Yes,
about,
girl.
right?
We got each other.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Steph, for having some time out of your busy schedule, especially with everything going on
Of
in your
course.
world. I appreciate it so much. And yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
just excited. We'll have you on again for sure and we'll chat more. Excited to see where the
Thank
business
you.
goes.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Amazing. Thanks, Steph.